If you like to bake, today I've got two really sweet cards with a baking theme to share with you. To see these card projects come together, stick around. That video is coming up next. Let's take a look at the first products I'm using today, and this is called Just Mitts. There is a coloring stencil and a coordinating die, and look at how cute this is. The stencils allow you to make all sorts of different looks for your mitts, and I think this is, well, I think it's adorable. So let's get started. I'm going to start with a base of pink cardstock, and then I'm going to add a darker pink. You just line up the stencil with whichever pattern. Here I'm just going with the stripes. And I will blend this on. Now the cool thing about for this particular stencil and these dies, the stencil is a mirror image. The die cut is a mirror image. So all you have to do for your other mitt is flip it, right? Flip it on the other side because it's perfectly symmetrical. Now I'm going to clean off between each layer with a spritz of alcohol, which is what I do when I'm cleaning stencils because it dries so quickly. But here you can see I've flipped it upside down or flipped it. I've flipped it the other way, and now I can blend the other side. So easy to do. And here we're getting that same pink on. So I'm going with sort of a tone-on-tone look for the base of the mitt. Now I'm going to take the little hearts from the die set and just blend on a little orange ink. I'm working with an analogous palette today, so these colors all follow one another on the color wheel, and that's how I know they're going to look good together, because I'm always thinking. Now I did cut some matte gold, it's actually a brushed gold cardstock for the little detail on the glove because I wanted it to have a little bit of shine. So I'm popping that on. And now I have a cool little detail layered right onto the mitts. Did I call it a glove? Glove, mitt, oven tools. Thank you. Also, I'm adding this voiceover today because there was still construction happening when I was filming this. We got new windows in my house, and we still haven't quite finished the window in the kitchen where all of the baking occurs. So but I don't film in the kitchen, thankfully. Okay. Mitts are golden. Now I'm going to prepare my note card, and this is going to be a top folding USA2 card. I am not going to fold it down yet, though. I'm going to blend on the front of the card panel, and I'm going to use one of my waffle flower masking corners. These are really nice when you want to mask off any area to protect it while you're ink blending or stenciling. And I'm going to bring on bubblegum and cantaloupe for a two-tone. And as I started blending this on, I realized, there's a better brush for this, Cathy. Yeah, thank you. I love these big blenders for backgrounds because they make them very soft and they make it quick to do. However, the pads that I'm using in this video are all super dry, and once I was finished, I re-inked every one of them because these are colors I use a lot, and that tends to happen in my collection. The oranges and the pinks and the yellows probably get used, well, I won't say more than any other, but they do blend together beautifully. And here we've just got a little bit of pink and a little bit of orange for the background of my card. Now off camera, I cut this gingham die, and I cut that from some of the same orange cardstock that I used for the hearts. And so this is going to have a very subtle background, but we're going to drop that little die cut right onto the front of the card. So I'm adding liquid glue all the way around. Takes a little while to get all of the little bits. I don't think you need all of them, but the edges definitely. And then just use my score buddy to line it up. And there I have my prepared panel. I think that looks really good. And now, let that adhere. And I'm going to build out the design of the card. Have to use Glad We've Met. The baking sentiments are so cute. And, Glad We've Met, come on. I love a pun. Punny fun is what I say always. Well, I don't know if I always say that, but we're going to emboss. And so I've prepped my white cardstock with the anti-static powder, bringing down the clear embossing ink, and I'll stamp that twice to get a nice impression of the greeting. And then I'm going to hit this with some gold embossing powder to tie in with the little bit of gold that's on the mitts. This is Brutus Monroe, gilded. So we'll get that funneled back in. I'll heat up my heat tool and melt the powder. And then there are coordinating dies for all of the greetings, and they are numbered on the index sheet and on the die, which makes it really easy to find what you need. I'm also going to cut out one more layer of the die cut shape just so that I can build up a little dimension on the greeting. And I'll glue those together with liquid glue. Just wiggle that into place, and it just feels a little more substantial. I'll let that adhere. Now to arrange the elements on the card, I've got a regular depth foam square on Glad We've Mitt, and then I put a little liquid glue just to give it that little float time. And on this left side mitt, I also have the regular foam squares. Now the ones on the right are thin because I wanted one to be clearly above the other, and sometimes you really do need different depths of foam square. These are thin, so it still gives a little pop off of that background, but it's going to nestle in very nicely underneath the other mitt. I like doing that, thick and thin. And then on the little heart down here on the left, that also just has a little bit of the thin depth, and we'll pop that in just like that. Now, I didn't think it needed to have any gems, but I added some gold pearls because, it's kind of what I do sometimes. And boop, just get those down. Plus, they add a nice connection to the gold elements on the card. And boop, that finishes card 1. So fun. For the next card, I'm going to use the Baking Fun stencil. Now, this is designed to work with the waffle flower nesting postage collage dies, which are part of the whole collage die series. I'm not going to use the little circular one. I'm just going to focus on this rectangle. So you're going to start adding color. Now, I am going to start with a pale yellow background here because, again, the colors I'm working with will be the same, essentially, and I want them to follow one another on the color wheel. Those are analogous colors, and that means they will work together. So I'm going to add this ink on. Again, it was a little dry, so it took me a while. It took me a while to build it up. And I think this is a perfect light color for the background. I'm also holding down the stencil just in that center area because I didn't want to go underneath where the mixer and the bowl are. Layer 1, looking good. Then popping down layer 2. And here, the stencil itself and the packaging show you what colors you could put where. So I wanted to isolate the areas so I don't have to worry about getting ink where I don't want it. So I'm going with pink, going with this bubblegum ink, because if I had my druthers, I'm not sure I do have my druthers, but if I did, I would love a pink mixer. I have a silver one, and it's a beautiful thing. And actually, maybe that's only in card making, because pink just wouldn't work in my kitchen, but that's what I love in card making is you can just make your dream colored appliances, or you can make things that don't even exist in reality, because I don't know if there's an orange mixing bowl, but that's what I'm doing for this. So again, masking off key areas and then bringing in my colors, the same colors from card 1. Blend in, and there we go. It's starting to come together. Now I'm bringing in the next area of detail and a darker pink. This is called Sweets, and this is part of a trio of colors that all work together really beautifully. And I'm going to add details here with this darker pink ink, just to have a nice pop and contrast against the pale ink. And I'm using my smaller brushes just because they're small areas, and I like not worrying that I'm going to go into other areas. Even though I am masking a little, like here, I'm not putting a mask over that pink area, the base of the stand mixer, because the brush is small enough, and I'm not going to go into the pink accidentally. So, blend in the muffin cups. These do come together quickly. Sometimes it's just a matter of having your colors picked out. I think that can be one of the more difficult things, But the cool thing is you really can just look on the back of the packaging and follow what has been modeled. And 9 out of 10 times, it's going to work out really well. Perhaps 10 out of 10. Now, I swirled off as much gray ink as I could get off. I just wanted a little something to make that frosting less stark white. And I think that's all it needed. I didn't want to make it look like dirty frosting, but I was like, yeah, that's going to work. Just for a little definition. Now, I already did a couple of the flowers here. I forgot to turn on the camera, so sometimes that happens when I'm in the zone. But I used the same colors on this floral part for the Mitt stencil. I'm covering up those floral centers so that I can bring in green for the leaves, and I don't have to worry about accidentally going over the centers of the flowers. But those two pinks are the same as what I used on the stand mixer, with just a little bit of green introduced here. Isn't that cute? Now, actually, true story, the green follows the yellow on the color wheel. So we're still going from our pinks into our oranges and yellows, and then just a little pop of green. And I'm making sure that detail on the Mitt matches the oranges on my stenciled mixer image. So there's my little matchy Mitt. Now, I've got this cool panel that I cut from this picnic plaid die, and there's a coordinating stencil so you can add a color pattern to the piece. Now, the cool thing is it will create just a little rivers of space over the detailing. And so I'm going to make this a very pale yellow and a very pale orange. Again, part of the paleness is going to be because my ink pad desperately needs more ink, and also just a really soft hand with those big brushes. I'm going to use melon here. This is the lighter of the three colors, cantaloupe and grapefruit, and then there's melon, because I just wanted this to be very soft, more of a whisper of color, a whisper. And that's what we're getting here. But as soon as I peel this away, you will be able to see that there's definitely color there. It's just very pale. Now I'm going to adhere this. There is tape runner on that white note card. Just going to use my score buddy to line it up. And now I have this pretty pale panel on my note card. I'm adding liquid glue to the back of my postage image, and I did cut one more layer of that postage shape and glued it to the back, just because I didn't want to put this on foam. I wanted it to be right on the panel, but that gives it just that little bit of lift off of the background. And we'll get that right in place. And then we're going to bring in our cute little mitten. And for the greeting, I wanted to use one of these little sentiment strips. I love sentiment strips. I love that pop of black and white. Now, one thing that I do is they will have there's like that little tearaway notch, and I always cut it off with an X-Acto knife. You could do it with scissors, but I swear every time I've tried that, I mess it up. So I use an X-Acto knife, and then I take my go-to color, Copic marker T10, and I color the sides just so that this looks then like it's actually black cardstock through and through. Just a nice way to finish it out. So I'll place my Mitt, get it right there on the corner, and I do have liquid glue on my foam squares. And the reason I do it is so that I can do just that, sort of wiggle it around. And here I've got foam squares, and then I cut just a little piece of the sentiment strip that I had left over, just so that the lift was perfect, right? We've got our foam squares, and then it's hitting the right amount of support on the Mitt. I just think that is so cute. And that finishes card 2. Let's do a quick design review of both cards, starting with card number 1, the Glad Weave Mitt. Now I'm going to show you something that isn't going to be out until later this month, but I have now gotten my prototype of the A2 rule of thirds. This is been asked for by a lot of you, and it is a pre-printed USA2. I will let you know as soon as this comes out. It will be part of our next release, but I now have it in my collection, and I made the lines darker so you can really see what you're doing. And again, I'm just for now just going to keep it in a little pocket. It's not out yet, but it's coming. Normally I don't show things before they come out, but I don't want to use my other one anymore because it's ugly. And this does say USA 2 and it has CZ Design. Now, of course, you can turn it and use it for horizontal cards as well. But for teaching purposes and for design purposes, I'm going to just put it right here. This is a compositional grid to help think about how this design is set up. And here, where we have our little intersecting points, they're areas of interest, and I have both of my mitts are touching on those, and my greeting is hanging off these two. Mostly center weighted design, very, very simple, right? But we do have a little repetition with our hearts and ink blending. We have the same color cardstock in that little textured grid. We've got our repeating design on the mitts. We've got little bits of gold sprinkled throughout. Of course, the gold embossing, the gold base of the mitt, and the pearls. And yeah, I think that's really sweet cards. So that's card number 1. For card number 2, again, this background is so pale, but I just think it's really pretty. I'm going to lay my grid over the top and let's take a look. Now, this core element is centered in the grid, right? We are perfectly centered. But over here, I've got my mitt sort of anchored on that intersecting point. I did drop the title down a little bit into this row because I didn't want to cover up the top of the cupcake. But that's a nice place to kind of sink it down. This kind of brings the weight and balance down a bit. And then we just have our nice little open area around the edge. Again, coming soon. I will let you know when it does. Here we've used the same colors here that I used here. I just added in a little bit of green for the leaves. And yeah, just ink blending. And here, those colors in the background are a pale yellow and a pale orange as well. So that just sort of ties it together. And we have top stitching here, top stitching on the frame, and a top sort of hash mark on the panel itself. And that wraps up my cards with baking vibes. You can find links to all of the products I used in today's video in the YouTube description box. If you're not a subscriber to my channel, I'd love to have you, so please hit that subscribe button and be sure to hit the notification bell so that you don't miss the next time I post. To see another fun card project, check out the thumbnail I have linked here, and I will see you in that video. Thanks so much for watching and have a great day.